Internet service for home or business includes unlimited data, unlimited streaming, and unlimited calling. Plans start at just $48 a month and get a free Roku 4Ls with our media packages. Get the speed you need with MR Systems Wireless. Call them at 935-2100. That's 935-2100 for MR Systems Wireless.
From the Heart Media Group newsroom and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this expanded morning newscast. Good morning and thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Ben Hubbard. You're listening to the WHOW Morning Show. The Clinton America 250 Committee has been hard at work planning for a packed 4th of July weekend celebration, and that weekend is finally upon us. On the WHOW Morning Show Wednesday, Bobby Perryman with the committee told the Heart Media Group they have a busy schedule from Friday through Sunday of activities. Things get going on Friday with a chainsaw carver doing a unique carving that will be auctioned off at the conclusion of the weekend, and a Clinton trivia contest.
So this is a 3-day celebration because it is the 250th. We got to go big. Things are going to kick off on Friday, the 3rd. So this coming Friday. Still can't quite believe it.
That's in 2 days, by the way.
I know. And we're going to, in the morning, chainsaw carver is going to start out at 9 a.m. He's going to be spending the day making a big, beautiful piece of art, and that we will be raffling off. We're going to have our food and craft vendors are going to come at 5 p.m. up on the square. We're going to have live music with Blonda Rosa at 5:30 and Brushville at 7. And in between at 6:30, the DeWitt County Genealogical Society is going to be hosting a Clinton trivia contest, which I think will be a lot of fun.
Then Saturday is the big day for the committee. It all starts with a 5K in the morning, the 4th of July parade at 10 a.m., and then competitions, children's activities, and music throughout a jam-packed day.
And then Saturday is our big day, actually the 4th. The food and craft vendors are going to be there 8 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. We're going to have several morning events, 5K race at 8, flag raising at 9. At 10 is going to be our Let Freedom Ring parade, which is going to go down Illini Drive, West Main. So it's like the homecoming parade, but backwards, going the opposite direction, starting at the First Baptist Church and going. So it'll be a lot of great places to watch the parade. We're going to have an Uncle Sam lookalike contest, so you can still register. It is open to all ages and all genders. So if you are interested, we'll have fun prizes for that. We have a bike decorating contest for kids, and it can be a bike, it can be a trike, it can be a big wheel, anything that they can decorate. We want them to drop that off at the square before 11:30, and judging will be right around noon.
Okay.
We're also going to have other contests, donut eating, sack races, cornhole tournament, pedal car, pedal tractor race, all kinds of fun, old-fashioned contests and games. And we have our family fun zone from 11 to 3. That's going to be on the east side of the square, kind of down toward Monroe Street, where we will have bounce houses, zip line, photo booth, climbing wall, balloon animals, face painting, dunk tank, wax hand station, sand art, and an exotic petting zoo. And those will be kind of spread around. So we're really excited about that. And this is all free. It is all completely free. So kids are going to have a great time. In the afternoon on Saturday, starting at noon, we're going to have more music with Nicole Nystrom and the Tumbleweed Band. We'll have our pedal tractor race and our Pioneer race. So the Pioneer is like a relay race where you complete different Pioneer activities. The first team to get to the end wins. We're also going to have a baking contest, so a cookie baking contest, and that'll be judged on Saturday. We're having a baby race, and I'm so excited. We already have signups for that. It's going to be adorable. The babies will be crawling across 10 feet of carpet from one adult to the other, and I think that'll be a lot of fun. And then I'm going to be telling stories. I'll be doing a library story time. I'm reading one of my favorite patriotic books. It's called John, Paul, George, and Ben, and it's a really cute, funny book about the founding fathers. And we're going to have a magician at 4, and then Sally Marvel at 5. She is a sword swallower, and she'll be out performing. And then in the evening, we have the Josh Holland Band at 6, and Out of Eden, which is an Eagles tribute band, at 7.
While Sunday winds down the festival, Perryman indicates there's still plenty scheduled for Sunday, and of course the fireworks display to be set off at dusk on Sunday evening.
On Sunday morning, the vendors are going to be there again at 8 a.m., so you can absolutely pick up some breakfast. They'll be there 8 to 7 on Sunday. We're going to have a non-denominational community church service on the square at 10. And then we're going to have a car show at 12. There'll be a blood drive and then Weisenhart music concert. At 1, we have the Green Diamond Express. And at 4, we have Harmony Grits. And then as traditional in Clinton, our fireworks are going to be on the 5th, and that will be at dusk. And again, at our normal location, which is Highway 51 and Kleeman Drive. So it is going to be a very full weekend.
Perryman indicates they are planning for the activities that they can accommodate to be moved to Clinton Junior High School in the event of rain. There will also be street closures for the weekend for the celebration on the Clinton Square. We'll have more on that this afternoon at the Hart Media Group. You can learn more about the 4th of July celebration in Clinton by finding the Clinton America 250 Committee on Facebook. This 4th of July holiday weekend is sure to present local authorities with numerous challenges. From the long 3-day weekend for the 4th this year to the 250th celebrations going on across the area, people will be looking to have a good time throughout the weekend. On the WHOW Morning Show, Lincoln Police Chief Joe Meister told the Hart Media Group that virtually all consumer fireworks that go bang are illegal under both state law and city ordinances.
All fireworks, and when I say fireworks, I mean anything that goes bang. So your black cats, your bottle rockets, on up to your mortar shells and everything else, they're all illegal. They're prohibited possession, sale, and use, both statewide and by city ordinance. So any public displays of fireworks, they have to be permitted through the fire department. Those are typically your big fireworks vendors, like what we'll have at the Park District on Friday night. Those people have to show training records, certain licenses, different things like that, and apply with the city to get a permit. Those are the only people that are allowed legally to display fireworks. So what we're going to do about it is the same thing that we generally do every 4th of July. We're going to get a lot of, my neighbor's shooting off fireworks and he's keeping me awake type calls. The city ordinance prohibits it. So if the complainant wants to sign the ordinance violation form, the officer will issue it to the violator. The expectation then is that the complainant attends and testifies in court if necessary. If the officer witnesses the violation himself, he can issue the ordinance violation based on his observations. And there's a fine associated with every single violation. So each violation is a separate offense, is how our code is written. And those fines range from $150 for the first offense to $500 for the third and subsequent. So there's a pretty hefty fine associated with it.
Chief Meister notes that beyond the legal penalties, the improper handling and disposal of fireworks keeps local fire departments very busy.
I think that's a typical response for municipal police departments. Another thing is the fire department's always busy that weekend. So just about every year we have a fire of some sort because a person has lit off, whether they're illegal fireworks or not, has lit off some fireworks and they put them in a trash can or they set them next to the garage. And if you do participate and you choose to do that, safe disposal. Obviously, have a water source to put out any fire if it may start. Limit your celebration to non-alcoholic beverages if you're going to be the one handling fireworks, or whatever sort of substance you may choose to use to celebrate the 4th. And respect others, neighbors and things like that. If somebody asks you to stop, just put it away. Find a more discreet location to celebrate where you may not bother anybody.
For those celebrating, the chief is imploring the public to practice basic safety, keep a water source nearby, and simply be neighborly by talking to one another before calling the police to resolve any noise complaints. The Lincoln Police Department will also have an increased presence on roads this weekend Chief Meister is reminding drivers that extra traffic enforcement will be out actively looking for impaired drivers to keep holiday travelers safe.
Yeah, every holiday weekend, we try to focus when we can on DUI detection and enforcement. Just because of the nature of the holiday, more people tend to celebrate. Make sure you have a designated driver. Obviously, try to control your rate of consumption so that you don't need one. But if you do, there's no shame in calling a friend. There's a lot more shame in having your name in the newspaper.
Chief Meister reminds that fireworks in Lincoln will be on Friday night, originating at the Park District. There is also a parade scheduled in downtown Lincoln for the morning of the 4th. Get news anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Looking for the perfect summer night? Head to Decatur and cheer on the Decatur Beanballers. Experience exciting summer collegiate baseball, affordable family fun, great promotions, and an unforgettable atmosphere at the ballpark. Get your tickets and schedule at beanballers.com and catch Decatur Beanballers highlights all summer long on IL SportsWire.
From the Hart Media Group Sports Desk, IL SportsWire, and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this local sports report. Dean Kremer pitched 6 impressive innings in his return from a quad injury, and the Baltimore Orioles avoided a series sweep Wednesday with a 6-1 victory over the Chicago White Sox.
After taking their first road series in 8 tries, the White Sox entered Wednesday's getaway day looking for a sweep on the way out of Baltimore. Sam Antonacci returning to the lineup after an off day on Tuesday provided an immediate leadoff spark.
So we'll expect to see a bunch of those today. There's a swing and a high fly ball out into right. It's deep. It's back there. O'Neill at the wall. That's a leadoff home run. Sam Antonacci. 1-0 in the first.
But despite the early lead, the Sox withered in the 90-degree heat as the O's came back 6-1 to salvage one in the series. Sox off to Cleveland now for a huge 4-game AL Central showdown over the holiday weekend. I'm Jeff Meller, and I'll have your pregame coverage starting at 5 p.m. on Thursday on the ESPN 1000 Hard Rock Casino White Sox Network.
The Sox begin a weekend series with the Cleveland Guardians tonight on WHOW. First pitch is at 6:40 p.m. Dansby Swanson hit 3 home runs, including a grand slam. Michael Conforto homered twice, and the Chicago Cubs pounded the San Diego Padres 23-3 on Wednesday. Swanson had a career-high 8 RBIs, second most in Major League history from a player batting 9th. Seiya Suzuki, Pete Crow Armstrong, and Michael Busch also homered for the Cubs, who scored their most runs in a home game since 1977. Swanson, who hit 2 home runs on Tuesday, became the first Cub with back-to-back multi-homer games since Patrick Wisdom in August 2021. He has 9 home runs and 29 RBIs over the past 13 games. A day after the Padres and Cubs combined for 9 homers in a 9-7 Cubs win Tuesday, they combined for 9 more with the wind howling to center again as Sung-Min Song hit the first of his career for the Padres. The Cubs are 14-5 with the wind blowing out at Wrigley Field this season. The Cubs are 49-38 overall and have won 5 straight after sweeping the Padres, who are 43-42 overall and have lost 5 in a row. Suzuki's 3-run homer in the first made him the 4th Japanese-born player in Major League history with 100 in his career, joining Shohei Ohtani, Hideki Matsui, and Ichiro Suzuki. Cubs starter Colin Rea is 6-5 and allowed 2 runs on 6 hits while working out of 2 bases-loaded jams in 5 innings. Jordan Wicks pitched 3 innings for his 2nd save. Padres starter Walker Buehler is 5-4 and allowed 9 runs in 4 innings. Padres right fielder Fernando Tatis Jr. went 0-4, ending a 23-game on-base streak. Padres catcher Rodolfo Duran pitched the final 2 innings, making his 2nd appearance on the mound this season and allowing 8 runs on 31 pitches. San Diego has not named a starter for Thursday's game at the Dodgers, and right-hander Roki Sasaki, who is 3-5 with a 4.88 ERA. The Cubs are off Thursday and have not announced pitchers for a home series against St. Louis beginning Friday. Right-hander Andre Palante is 9-5 with a 3.83 ERA and starts Friday for the Cardinals. Ozzie Albies homered and drove in 2 runs, and the Atlanta Braves held the St. Louis Cardinals to 2 hits in a 5-1 victory on Wednesday night. The win was just the 5th in 18 games for the Braves, who nevertheless have managed to hold on to first place in the NL East. Reynaldo Lopez is 4-1 and pitched 5 strong innings in his second start since returning to the rotation after losing his starting spot in April. He gave up 1 run on 2 hits with a walk and 5 strikeouts. The right-hander threw 68 pitches, 44 for strikes. Atlanta's bullpen, which entered with a major league best 2.76 ERA, tossed 4 perfect innings to secure the win. Dylan Dodd, Didier Fuentes, and Dylan Lee set up closer Rafael Iglesias, who earned his 17th save. Braves pitchers retired 20 batters in a row to end the game. Albies' solo home run to right field in the 3rd inning snapped a 1-all tie. He also had an RBI double in the 1st that knocked in Drake Baldwin from first base. Atlanta tacked on 3 runs in the 8th. Michael Harris II and Austin Riley each had an RBI single. Mauricio Dubon drove in Albies with a sacrifice bunt. Dubon took away a home run from Cardinals pinch hitter Jose Fermin in the 8th to preserve a 2-1 lead. St. Louis starter Michael McGreevy is 3-7 and gave up 2 runs and 3 hits across 6 innings. He hasn't won in his last 9 starts, even though he leads the team in ERA at 3.12 and has allowed 2 runs or fewer 12 times this season. Right-hander Dustin May is 5-6 with a 4.3 ERA and will close out the 3-game series for St. Louis on Thursday. Right-hander Hurston Waldrep starts for Atlanta with an 0-0 record and a 0.00 ERA. Around the MLB yesterday, the Cleveland Guardians beat the Texas Rangers 9-4. While the Detroit Tigers beat the New York Yankees 6-2 in 11 innings. The Washington Nationals routed the Boston Red Sox 10-2, while the Toronto Blue Jays beat the New York Mets 9-3. The Philadelphia Phillies beat the Pittsburgh Pirates 10-6, while the Tampa Bay Rays shut out the Kansas City Royals 4-0, and the Milwaukee Brewers beat the Cincinnati Reds 4-2. The Minnesota Twins beat the Houston Astros 8-3. The Colorado Rockies took down the Miami Marlins 6-3, while the Athletics beat the LA Dodgers 7-1, and the San Francisco Giants beat the Arizona Diamondbacks 6-4. Add Norman Powell to the list of this past season's All-Stars who are changing addresses this summer in NBA free agency. Powell has agreed to a 2-year deal that could be worth up to $45 million with the Chicago Bulls. Powell spent this past season in Miami, where he became an All-Star for the first time and averaged 21.7 points in 58 games with the Heat. Miami will have a very different look this coming season after the acquisition of Giannis Antetokounmpo in a trade that sent Tyler Hero and others to Milwaukee. Powell will be joining his 5th team after past stints with Portland, the LA Clippers, Toronto, and the Heat. Chicago Blackhawks defenseman Bowen Byram has agreed to a $75 million 6-year contract extension with his new team. The deal was announced Wednesday, the first day that Byram was eligible to sign an extension. It runs through the 2032-33 season and would make him the NHL's highest paid defenseman with an average annual salary of $12.5 million, surpassing Pittsburgh Erik Karlsson with $11.5 million a year. The 25-year-old defenseman Byram was acquired in a trade with Buffalo on June 23rd. The Blackhawks sent the number 4 and number 45 selections in the NHL draft and defenseman Louis Crevier to the Sabres for Byram and forward Jordan Greenway. Malik Tillman stepped up for a free kick with a bloody sock and a new right boot after being stepped on by an opponent as the United States scrambled to protect a 1-goal lead down a man in a World Cup knockout round. Tillman delivered the goal of his life and one of the biggest ever by a U.S. man at the World Cup, sending this American soccer fairy tale into the round of 16. The round of 32 win set up a Monday matchup in Seattle against Belgium as the U.S. hopes to make a deep run on home soil. The Red Devils beat the Americans 2-1 in extra time at 2014's round of 16. Folarin Balogun put the Americans ahead in the 45th minute with his third goal of the World Cup, then was sent off in the 64th minute for a red card. Star Christian Pulisic had a goal disallowed for offsides in the 78th minute, and Tillman helped seal the win when he curled in a free kick that got over the wall and on target from just outside the box in the 82nd minute. The ball went off diving goalkeeper Nikola Vasilij's right hand, despite the pain in Tillman's bloody right foot from being stepped on. Balogun dominated the first half and scored in the 45th minute. The Americans had to scramble after his foul for awkwardly stepping on Tarek Muharemovic and preserved the shutout despite playing shorthanded for more than 30 minutes. Pochettino became the first U.S. coach with 3 World Cup victories, and the Americans gained just their second World Cup knockout round win. They made it to the semifinals in the first tournament in 1930 by winning their group and won a round of 16 matchup against Mexico in 2002. Balogun leads the U.S. with 3 goals, but will miss the Belgium match because of an automatic suspension for the red card, assessed by Brazilian referee Rafael Claus after a video review. Balogun stepped on an ankle of Tarek Muharemovic, apparently not intentionally. Bosnia's second World Cup trip was a success with a draw against Canada in the opener and a win over Qatar that helped the team advance to the knockout round for the first time, but it ended in disappointment. Get highlights of your local high school program by finding IL SportsWire on your preferred social media platforms, and get local sports anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
SIU Center for Family Medicine is here to help with back to school and sports physicals. Healthy kids learn better and play harder. Call 217-735-2317 today to schedule your appointment. That's 217-735-2317. SIU Medicine, forward for you.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. There are extreme heat warnings, other various weather advisories posted all across the east. A dangerous heat wave sends temperatures into the triple digits. Humidity levels sky high as well, making it even more uncomfortable and dangerous. Unfurling a banner once they got there, police say a couple climbed to the very top of the Empire State Building, atop the antenna mast, more than 1,400 feet above the street. They're under arrest now, facing a whole host of charges. Former CIA Director John Brennan is suing the Trump administration, demanding a court order that would require officials to preserve records from investigations targeting him. The World Cup, the U.S. beat Bosnia 2-0, advancing to the round of 16, the Americans keeping their World Cup dreams alive. The Dow futures up 70 points. More details, srnnews.com.
Hey, I'm not one to say I told you so, but Do you remember last year when I told you that Pure Talk was hands down the best wireless company that I'd ever used? Well, some of you were skeptical, but Consumer Reports just asked 120,000 people to rate every wireless company in America, including the big boys. Well, guess which company was the only company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. Coverage, support, value, data. 5 stars across the board. No service contracts, no cancellation fees, just great U.S. customer service on a crazy fast 5G network for a fraction of what you've been paying. I'm not going to say I told you so, but I will encourage you one more time to dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to a 5-star American wireless company that won't let you down.